Welcome to Lair the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, let's remember the iPod. I was digging through a drawer looking for something, I don't know, like about a week ago, and I stumbled across my old iPod. I couldn't find the charger to plug it in and turn it on and get it going, but I sort of just left it here on my desk, and then as a chance would have it, yesterday I read an article that Apple is discontinuing the iPod, and quite honestly, I didn't know that they were still making iPods. I think they evolved into an iPod Touch, which I'm not even sure what that was. But so I thought it would be fun to reminisce about the iPod. Now, from what I could gather, without being able to turn this on, this is a sixth generation iPod. It's got 160 gigabytes on it, that I know because it's written on the back here. And the sixth generation, I believe, was the only one that was able to have hold that size. And it came out, I think, in 2006. And I remember getting this. I got it for Christmas that year, and I remember being pretty excited about it because up to that point, now when I was younger, I had a cassette Walkman. It was like a Walkman knockoff type of thing. So I was able to take my music, my cassettes around with me somewhere. And I remember it had like a clip on it, so I could clip it onto my belt and walk around outside with it. And I loved that cassette Walkman. I would go for walks in the woods and stuff. And that was a big part of my youth, was, getting a new cassette and putting it into Walkman and being able to go out into my backyard. My backyard turned into the woods, and I would just go back into the woods and listen to music. But then when CDs came around, I had a portable Discman thing, and this is not my original. I had my original one for the longest time, and then it just stopped working, and I bought this, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, off of Amazon. And I don't know if there's a sound quality difference between cheaper ones and better ones. It just doesn't seem like this sounds that great, but it was really the only one that I could find at the time 3 or 4 years ago. But even when I had this didn't fit in my pocket, or the one I had before this. This one's a little bit smaller than the one that I had before this. It didn't really fit in my pocket. If you remember, they used to skip. It had skip protection on it, but it still skipped. And so I wasn't really able to take my music with me the way I did when I had my cassette Walkman. And I still actually used my cassette Walkman for a really long time until that broke. But I couldn't really take this, if I wanted to go jogging or something. I couldn't really take this. And I remember at one point I bought like this bag that went over my shoulder and it could hang like this. But it just wasn't quite the same. And so when I got my first iPod, I was really excited because it was so small. It seemed so small. And I could just put it in my pocket, and I was able to put what seemed like an infinite amount of music on it. And I can remember, I had iTunes on my computer at that point, and I can remember right after I got this, just getting a stack of CDs and loading them in because you had to load it into iTunes first. For those who may not remember, you had to load it into iTunes first in order to then, put it on the iPod. But I remember being able to have all this different stuff on here. I put all my Black Sabbath albums, all my Judas Priest albums on here, and to have all that stuff in one place that I could take with me then and listen to whatever I wanted to listen to. Even when I had my portable CD thing, you had to sort of pick a CD, and that's the CD you went with if you went out. But this, I could take this, and let's say I was going to go to work, and then I was going to go for a walk or something after work. I could just take this with me and not worry, because I knew that I had so much stuff on here that I could, there's going to be something that I'm going to like, that I'm going to want to listen to. And the other cool thing is that it allowed me to make playlists. Now, you could do that, make your own burnt CDs, but it was sort of a process with that. It felt kind of cumbersome. And you had to buy a blank disc, you had to go through the whole thing of making the playlist and burning it to the disc. But here I could put all my stuff into iTunes, and then I could make a playlist from that. So I could put all my Black Sabbath CDs in, but then I could make a playlist of like my favorite Black Sabbath stuff. And to me, that was just incredible that I could do that, that I could, make a playlist and put things in the order that I wanted to put them in and stuff like that. And this particular one, it used to show the album cover, a tiny little frame of the album cover, which I thought was just so cool. And, the sound quality was pretty noticeably not that great. It was a compressed MP3 and it felt kind of small. I remember when I first listened to it for the first time, I remember thinking like, wow, this sounds small. But I was just so happy to have something portable like this that I could carry around and put so much music on that it was really exciting. Then I was able to, with an adapter, plug it into my car stereo and stuff like that, and so that was also really cool. So I just really dug the fact that I could have all this different stuff. It fit right in my pocket. I could go jogging or whatever with it, and it wasn't a big deal. I could go to the beach or something with it and carry it with me. So it was just something that was really cool. I used to also have a case that went with it that I long lost. It allowed me to clip it onto my belt and stuff like that, and it sort of protected the screen. So, all right, there you go. Do you guys have any memories of iPods? What do you remember about them? I mean, of course, now everything is right there on your phone, and I have Apple Music, lossless streaming audio, so that's just incredible. How far we've come with that, and pretty much everything right at your fingertips. But at the time, this was a really big deal. So, what do you guys remember about the iPod? Let's reminisce a little, and let's say goodbye to the iPod. So, iPod, thanks for the memories, and rest in peace.